Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I have my reading wrap up for the month of June for you. And in the month of June I've read 4 books. I was hoping to get one more in, but I started to read a non-fiction book and they just don't go as quickly as like a fiction book for me most of the time. Also, like, they're not as pulling as in like I want to know what happens next or something like that. It's really interesting to read, but yeah, it just doesn't read as quickly as my fiction books. But I did read 4 fiction books this month as well, so let's talk about those instead of talking about what I'm reading right now, because you'll hear about that next month. Just trying to open my Goodreads to make sure I don't forget about anything, but the first one I definitely know. I have it right here. I read Anne of Green Gables, a very well-known book. I'm pretty sure I did this as a buddy read with Emily. I'll try and make sure to link her down below. She has a channel where she talks a lot about books as well, but she also does some like motherhood, mostly gardening as well, but mostly books. Anyway, I love the look of this book as well. Like, I just bought it online so I could kind of pick what I wanted it to look like. It's a really cute book, both the outside but also the inside. It's about Anne, who gets to live at Green Gables as an orphan. She is adopted by a brother and a sister who live there together. This place in Canada, I think about 100 years ago, probably a little bit more even. And I just love Anne. Like, going through this book, what I like most is that she's a girl with a big like fantasy. She makes up a lot of things, which apparently is not that common in the village that she gets to live in. Feel like the other girls are kind of like, what do you mean imagination? But also what I love most about her is that she appreciates all the small things, and especially when it comes to nature and like the outdoors. It's like in spring there's things to enjoy, in summer there's things to enjoy, in fall, in winter, and I think that was the cutest, like appreciating the small things. Like, this book is really a reminder of that. It's just such a cute book. I know it is like a series as well, which I didn't really know beforehand, so I might want to try and read what's next, because I'm curious to see what else Anne does when she's kind of grown up, because you go like from a, what is it, 11-year-old Anne all the way to her going out to like the big school in another city. So yeah, really cute read. I gave it, I think, 4 stars. Like, it wasn't like fully impressive 5 stars experience, but definitely 4 stars. I really like reading this. Then next I read The Summer That I Turned Pretty, which I'll put up here. I think this is a very well-known book. It's not one that like you guys have never heard about before, probably. It's about a girl who like, her brother and 2 other friends, like, no, let's say it like this. Her mother has a friend, and every year they, during summer, get together in a beach house, lake house, whatever, in a house, and it's her and her brother and the 2 sons of the friend that come there as well. And well, this was the summer that she turned pretty. She's always had a crush on one of the sons of the friend of her mother, and this year I guess they all realized that she actually looks like a real girl now, as opposed to the little girl that they've always played with over the years. It's a really like cute teenagey book. I've said this before, and I feel like I'm in my 30s now, and that probably changes things a little bit. Whereas like before, I thought like the teenage cutesiness of like, ooh, will they, won't they, are everybody misunderstanding each other, I thought that was cute. And now like that teenage angst type of thing, I'm a little bit like, oh come on. You know what's happening here. You just need to ask the right questions, kind of that type of thing. And I think that that's just because I'm getting older, that I just don't have that naivety as much anymore. So I gave it 3 stars just because it's a really nice summer read, but it's a bit too YA for me at this point, probably. I like certain YA books a lot still, but this one, yeah. 3 stars still, like I did enjoy it. Then I read Daisy Jones and the Six, which also very well-known book. This one I really liked as well, actually. It's about a rock band, basically. Daisy is a like daughter of like some famous couple, and they kind of forget that she exists, and she goes out in the world and kind of does her own thing. She's just really pretty and people really like her, but she wants to be known for more than just being pretty. And then there is this rock band, the Six, that has been put together by 2 brothers, I think kind of around high school time, and they've started to tour. And at a certain point, like they kind of merge, basically. And this is written in kind of interview style. So I don't know how well you can see it when I show it to you like this. You can't, but it's like this person said this and this person said that, and it's all like a reporter basically that's writing it all out. That's the way that it looks. And honestly, like I had to go and look up whether this was a band that actually existed or not, because the way it's written, it's so realistic, and especially like that interview style, which I don't think I've really read something before in that style, really made me wonder, like, is this real or is this not? Like, but yeah, it's very much like, when was this? Probably in the 60s or something. I don't know if it says on here. Very rock and roll, very much like half of them, if not all of them, are doing drugs. There's a lot of like girls and things involved as well. But it's a really good book. I really like the way it was written, and it's very different from what I've written before in that sense. So I'm pretty sure, I'll do a double check, I gave this one 4 stars. 4 stars. So, and then lastly, I read Sunrise by the Sea, which is the 4th book in the Little Beach Street Bakery series, which is just a really cute series. It's initially about, pretty sure her name is Polly, who, like, the business that she had with her boyfriend kind of fails, basically. They break up and she moves to this little island that is closed off from the mainland every now and then when the tide gets too high, and there's this road that goes to the island that gets flooded, and then they have to wait for it to become low tide again so they can get off and on. But she ends up there because the rent is cheap and those type of things. And then of course things start to flourish and things go well. But this is the 4th book, and what I kind of like about this book is that we still see Polly, but the main character in this book is not Polly anymore. There is this other girl that also moves to the island and goes through her own like figuring things out journey. And of course she gets to meet Polly and they become good friends because that's the main character of the previous books. What I really liked about this book is that, like, originally she's Italian, her mom is Italian, and she has all these memories about when she was younger and also older, that she was going back to Italy, and like all these memories to Italy. And because of something, she's kind of depressed, but then her grandmother sends her all these Italian ingredients all the way from Italy, and just through cooking she kind of becomes more herself again, basically. And oh, the way that these dishes were described, and like her doing the cooking and the smells and the taste, and oh, it just made me so hungry when I was reading this. So yeah, I really enjoyed reading that one as well. This one also was a 4-star read for me. So yeah, that was all that I read in the month of July. Did I say June at the start? It's August. This was my reading wrap up for July. And yeah, I'm already working on 2 books. I'm reading 2 books because there is that non-fiction book, but at a certain point I just didn't really feel like reading that anymore because I was in a like little cafe and my husband was doing a 50-kilometer trail run and I was just waiting for him, and I just did not feel like reading that non-fiction book for hours on end. So I started in another fiction book as well, but I guess I will tell you about those next month. yeah, thank you guys very much for watching, and I hope to see you in one of my next videos. Bye bye.